Hi, everyone. Welcome to another amazing topic of conversation. Thank you to our sponsors, the Health Channel. So please sign up for their newsletter, anything you want regarding your health. And if you want any workspaces, virtual offices, or just a boardroom to meet with a client, alexasworkspaces.com. And welcome to our newest member, the best resource page in Facebook, Aventura Moms, that goes beyond Aventura. So Esther, welcome.
Thank you, Gladys.
And this is not Esther from Aventura Moms. Just to clarify. So Esther, we have this week 2 huge branding explosions.
Yes.
So let's start first with Twitter.
Yes.
We woke up Monday morning with the news that Elon Musk is changing the whole image, the little bird for the black X. From a branding perspective, how do you see this?
Well, from the branding perspective, and for your audience, I want everybody to understand that a brand, when you buy a brand, you buy not only the market share, but you buy the brand equity. And the brand equity has value, financial value in the books. And so it baffles me that Elon Musk decided to invest $44 billion in buying a brand to fully change the brand. For me, it's like buying Coca-Cola to sell kombucha. So you don't buy Coca-Cola to change Coca-Cola. You buy Coca-Cola to achieve strategic goals with the equity of the Coca-Cola brand. So in my opinion, Musk overspent.
But you don't think it is more about getting rid of a brand instead of rebranding and coming up with a whole new product? I know, definitely overspending, but this sounds like instead of Coca-Cola, like the way I see it is like buying McDonald's to eliminate McDonald's.
Exactly, that's what I say. It's like buying Coca-Cola to sell kombucha, to replace all those billions of servings a day for another liquid. And so Coca-Cola serves, I don't know exactly the number, but it's in the billions of servings a day. You don't buy Coca-Cola to remove the Coca-Cola brand and try to serve kombucha to the millions and billions of people in the world. You buy Coca-Cola because you want to use the leverage of Coca-Cola to sell kombucha on the side. So I would have never overpaid for Twitter if I wanted to create a totally different social media platform. He could have started from zero, create his own brand and his own brand equity, and with the visibility and his own followers, he could have achieved that much more effectively and efficiently and alienate less consumers.
So I have a question for you for a branding perspective. We all say, let's tweet the Twitter. It became like a household name. Like when we go, you want to ask something, go Google it.
Yes.
Twitter became a household name. So what happens now? Let's exit.
We'll see. I think, like I said, he invested a lot of money to destroy something that was valuable. And he could have done something valuable for much less money. Now, Elon Musk is much more intelligent than I am, so let's wait and see what he does with this. It seems, from the branding standpoint, it seems like a big mistake.
But the company was still in the red. All the advertisers were leaving.
Yes. He also alienated, his Tesla brand is a brand for progressive consumers. Ever since he's been tampering with Twitter, he's alienating even the Tesla consumers, and he's decreasing the value of Tesla, because these are very controversial times, and you have to be very careful with what you do and what you say in front of millions of consumers, because it hurts your brand.
Well, from a personal perspective, after everything he did with the whole Twitter thing and everything, I was looking into a Tesla, and now I'm looking into something else. So yes, you're right. Maybe I'm not.
Especially in polarized times like this, consumers are very hard to, it's loyalty in the 80s was super easy. Loyalty in this era is almost impossible. So if you have actions that incite controversy, you might hurt your brands. And not to get off topic, but just Bud Light just made a big marketing mistake. And so, because it didn't understood its audience, or it tried to embrace an audience, but it alienated another audience. So the same with Twitter. Elon Musk, when he started SpaceX, when he started Tesla, he could have done anything. They were their companies, they could shape them, he could shape them into whatever he wanted. In this case, he took an established brand with an established market. Then he should have been more careful. He should have been, even if his plan was to move it, he should have moved it without alienating his consumer base.
Or having all his advertisers back and running without changing? Or do you think that he did it just because he wanted to bring back all the advertisers that had left?
No, advertisers will stay put, because advertisers have lots of outlets now where to put their money. So they will put their money where they feel they know the audience. That's the first rule of advertising. If I know who's reading, I know which ads to put. If my target is there, I will invest there. Now nobody knows who's the audience and who remains the audience and who will leave and who will come. So it's a lot of uncertainty for advertising dollars. And advertising dollars have other outlets, other social media.
So they will just go and...
They will go where they feel safe and where they feel that the audience they want is there.
So my last question on this topic, is Threads going to be a big competitor? Is it going to benefit Threads now that there is another platform that's exactly the same or similar?
I think that Threads launch was very opportunistic, and the numbers, the data proves that it was the fastest adopting platform ever. Then the engagement numbers are not yet there. The hashtags, the handles are not yet working, but it's a baby platform.
They said that their engagement was a very high engagement that actually went beyond what they were expecting.
Fastest adopting platform, even fastest than AI.
Than GPT, yeah.
Yeah, ChatGPT, but it remains to be seen. I think, like I said, Facebook and Instagram have been great platforms for e-commerce and for brands. So I believe that eventually Threads will take the market share that Twitter has. That is my marketeer gray hair, but nobody knows. It's like if you ask somebody to do a viral video, nobody knows what will become viral and what doesn't. It remains to be seen, but in my opinion, Meta is being managed with more responsibility. They seize the opportunity that Elon Musk opened, and we consumers and people that tweet and content creators and advertisers will feel safe with Meta products and Meta platforms. So we feel on quicksand with Twitter. We don't know where it's going. So I think that Threads will win the war, at least this battle.
From a business perspective, I think it was brilliant that they saw an opportunity,
Absolutely.
that there was a hole, an opportunity with all the advertisers that had left. It is an instant platform of instant communication.
Yes. And it's
And
the Meta, Facebook, Instagram, and now Threads platforms are proven for e-commerce and other kind of advertising. So I don't see, if I were Coca-Cola or if I had an e-shop or an e-commerce marketplace, I would bet my dollars on Facebook and Threads instead of on Twitter now, because it's very confusing. Twitter is very confusing.
well, let's see what happens tomorrow if you're going to start doing exit, because
Yes.
X means like cancel it.
Yes,
So I don't know why, like Twitter was a different, it was a more, how do you call it? I'm looking for the word.
human. Twitter first brand book, which I had in my office and everybody had, was about communicating, was about sharing, was about short connections that were more opinion-based than photo-based. It was a very human brand.
Correct. That's what the word I was looking for. More humanizing.
Yes.
When you put X,
Yes.
it feels like canceled.
It
Like
feels
when you X someone.
it feels like, hell, I am a billionaire. I can do whatever the hell I want. And I have a SpaceX, now I'm going to have X platform. So he has money to play with these things. And
like $44 billion?
All my respect to this guy. He's an intelligent guy. He's not an idiot by no means. He disrupted two industries. He disrupted the space industry. He disrupted the automobile industry. Maybe he will disrupt the social media industry as well. From the brand standpoint, it doesn't make too much sense to me. I'm a little bit baffled.
Okay. So the next explosion of this week. The next explosion of this week was the Barbie phenomenon.
The Barbie is all over the place. It's in pink these days.
Barbie phenomenon. From a branding, have you seen the movie?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I did see it.
Yes.
I did see it.
Yes.
From a loyal Barbie, I used to play with Barbies all the time. I was a fan of Barbies. I had the pool, the house, the car, every birthday, every opportunity. It had to be a Barbie or a Barbie product.
Yes.
Until my daughter was born and she hated Barbies and dolls. So
yeah.
it died.
Barbie. So this is going to be a great conversation because I always wanted to be an architect. So Barbies didn't appeal to me when I was little. My sister, my cousin, they played with Barbies. I played with square rulers and papers and markers. So we came to Miami from Colombia with, let's say, $10 in 1967. My cousin and my sister would go to Toys R Us, buy one Barbie and 10 dresses. I would go to the art supply store and buy 100 markers.
Okay, so it didn't appeal to you that there was, for example, a Barbie that would be an architect or a construction?
No, because
an architect or construction.
No, I think that girls that want to be astronauts, they play with rockets and planets. They don't play with Barbies. So I think that Barbie was a great brand that was born in the late 1950s, early 60s. It was very fitting to the role women had at the time. There's plenty of articles in Good Housekeeping that depict that woman, and Barbie was the response to that woman. And that woman didn't have anything wrong. There's millions, if not billions.
The fantasy world of Barbie,
Exactly.
the fashion,
There were billions And there still are billions of girls that want to have a castle, that want to have a car, that want to be dressed in pink, that like tiaras and bows. But as women became professional, Barbie tried to embrace something that she wasn't suited to. And that's why the decline in sales in the past decade or so have been consistent. Still a very valuable brand. It's still, I don't know, I don't know the number, the exact number, but I think it's $1.4 billion in sales a year, down from 1.6 billion last year. So it's still a very valuable brand, but I think from the brand standpoint, Barbie should be more authentic to herself and embrace the girls that like Barbie and not try to be something else.
So for example, you're telling me that they didn't convey the message of being whoever you want to be. Like, for example, a Barbie and a doctor, the Barbie dressed as an astronaut, the Barbie dressed as president.
Yeah, I think, personally, I think that the Disney princesses and female characters of the past, whatever, 10, 15 years are more real. Girls relate more to Maribel from Encanto, who's a real Colombian girl with real curly hair, with real wild character, dressed in real Colombian cultural outfits, than a Barbie with a Colombian costume. So it's a very different to have empathy for a real character than to try to put a costume on a character that is the same.
I understand what you say, but even though Barbie came out with a lot of diversity.
Diversity is very different. The fact that you have different skins, Barbies, that embraces that there are girls that want to be Barbies from all ethnicities. That is different than to put on those Barbie girls that are girly, that they are Barbies, to pretend that they are going to be something just because they wear a dress. For me, like I said, I wanted to be an architect. I wasn't interested in dolls. I was interested in markers. And I think that happens even nowadays. A girl that is into art is going to prefer to buy art games and artsy toys than to buy a Barbie in a costume. So for me, the more we live in public, in the real public, in the real world, in things that fake are no longer accepted because we live in public arenas nowadays. I think for a brand, especially a brand that pretends to appeal to kids, cannot underestimate the kids' choices and the kids' brilliance. Kids know what they want to be, and they start playing very early at what they want to be. And like I said, I don't have any problems with girls that want to be Barbie. Barbie is it's a girly girl. That's great. You can be a girly girl and be a doctor, and you can be a girly girl and be an astronaut, and you can be a girly girl and be a banker.
What you're saying is that they didn't appeal to them in that way.
I don't think that a girl that wants to be, going back to what I said, a girl that wants to be an architect will not be playing with dolls, will be playing with markers. A girl that wants to be an astronaut is playing with rockets and planets and NASA toys. A girl that wants to be a scientist will go for National Geographic or any STEAM toys. Girls know what they want to be, and there's toys that will enable those aspirations. Putting a dress doesn't mean that you are that. You're that because you're that.
So from a marketing perspective.
Yes.
The first weekend that the movie opened, it made $155 million.
Yes.
Going overboard everybody's expectations.
Yes.
I remember I called my cousin, who we played Barbies all the time, and she said, I don't want to go to see the movie. And on the other hand, my grandson said, I want to go and see Barbie, so I went with him.
I think movie, and
Because
I know that the movie, and I've read a few of the reviews. It's a hot item, and it will refresh. It will create a good energy for the Barbie brand, but it might also again create a backlash because activist women, feminist women, are not going to like it.
I already heard both sides of the story, but from a marketing perspective, do you think that the phenomenon that it created, was it planned from a very well-planned campaign, or did it go virtually organically?
I think it was hoped. Every time Hollywood produces a movie, it hopes to be a box office.
The producer of the movie was a lot from Mattel.
Yes. Like I said, it was hoped. I don't think that they expected the success. I think they hoped for the success. So Lego did it as well. It was hoped. It became a success. What will it happen? Will the activists on both sides create more controversy for the brand and equity for the brand? Remains to be seen.
But if they create controversy, it's good because the brand keeps on growing and growing.
It depends.
On controversy, they talk about it.
It depends. You can talk about it. It can create a good peak. Remember, there's peaks, like COVID created peaks for many brands. And then after COVID left, there was a backlash. Millions of brands. So all these Instacart during COVID grew. Then COVID left and Instacart went down. Some consumers remain Instacart loyalists. So when there's these peaks, and they are great, and I'm sure Mattel will get revenue from this movie, and only in the box office, I think it's 225 million already. So I believe no doubt that it will help the cash this quarter. I don't know if there will be a drop after the hype settles down.
What about sales? Do you think it will increase? Because it did increase sales.
Absolutely, it will increase sales. I don't have any doubt that they are selling more Barbies this quarter and that they will sell more Barbies and Barbie gear this quarter. I don't know if there will be a peak and then a low, yes. So there's
from a branding perspective, you think that they need to keep the momentum going for as long as they can?
Yes, and they have to figure out, listen to the data. There will be a lot of data coming out of the social conversation, the moviegoers, the bloggers, the thinkers, the consumers. Listen, but if Mattel listens, if Mattel adopts, embraces the data to create brand extensions that are relevant to all women, of course it will be good for the brand.
So this conversation is to be continued.
Absolutely, there's plenty
in 6 months, and we will follow up on both brands to see what happens.
Thank you, Gladys. Thank you for listening. And you know I'm passionate about this.
Thank you so much, and thank you for jumping on at the height of this whole thing. And to everyone, until next week, have a wonderful week, and above all, stay safe. Have a great day.
Thank you.